pop-up show.
It's a pop-up show.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop show.
It's the pop-up show.
Something's happening, something's going on.
Ttnl back live to get it on.
$7 a month, don't need a coupon.
We worldwide, the flag is waving strong.
Surprising your patient with breaking news.
Bring a whole lot of truth, no pay-per-views.
Could be cars, Shane, or DDP.
Just another branch on this family tree.
The tape never lies like a boy JC.
No narratives allow how we rock the beat.
Breaking news on time, now we ain't no bullets.
Jealous networks make us out to be villains.
Unbreakable truths like a man Bruce Willis.
We stand tall in the city like the Willis.
Tower, over the competition we devour.
Rinse every time like the Slobber Bears hour.
Others fall asleep when the apple is bitten. We're taking out the frauds who here to Great Britain. You can't run that eye, brother, who are you shitting? Patrons of the truth, this network spin.
Old man reporting live from the dungeons. We keep it real, we chopping onions. Bears Nation on the rise, be on the coverage. Hot off the press, hot and fresh out the oven. It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
The pop-up.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
What?
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Ttnl.
Ttnl, that's us. We are back and we are live, kind of throwing this together to see what these Bears do, these new Bears during this presser. I got home a little bit earlier than expected, so I wanted to pop in and cover this, see what these new guys sound like, see what sure we're going to hear from Ryan Poles, from Ben Johnson, see what they have to say about these guys. So I'm kind of excited. I see Grady Jarrett was in town last night. If you follow his Instagram, he was up at Hallis Hall with his family, running around and checking things out. So we're not going to make too much. We're not going to get into too much free agency talk beyond that, just for me, because I'm flying solo. If you want that, tune in to Keeping It 100 tonight, where the whole crew should be ready to go and talk about these guys and talk about what could be next, potentially, as we move forward into this free agency frenzy that has been a little bit quiet after first few hours of day one. And it's not a bad thing. End of the day, we don't want to build this team. We don't want to build this team through free agency. We want to plug some holes with some quality players like we have, leadership, and that's what good teams do. You go out there and you try to build your team through free agency, you create massive financial holes. We've lived that previously here in Chicago. So just waiting for these guys to get out here, and as soon as they do, we will roll. So everybody in the chat, throw in who you're most excited about in terms of Grady Jarrett, Dahlman, everybody, all the new signings, Deo, Adengbo. I know there's some people are hot and cold, but throw in the chat who you're most excited about. Drew Black is most excited about Justin Fields. So great. Good for you, Drew. I'm kidding. So 4 p.m. We're just waiting for them to come out here. Yeah. DDP's in the chat, everybody. What in the name of Purple Dreams? If you don't know what he's talking about, we'll probably have a little bit more on that tonight. Aaron McKnight is a Dahlman fan. Got another vote here for Grady Jarrett. Gary Franklin's voting for DDP. Oh, let's go, Bears. Let's get this rolling. I'm kind of excited to see what they're gonna talk about and what is next potentially here on the docket as we move forward. Make sure I got everything going and ready here in the background. And I do. Here we go.
All right, we'll get started. So first, we're both excited. Our whole organization is excited about our new additions to our roster by way of trade. Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson, and recently signed Grady Jarrett and Durham Smythe. The beautiful thing about this is we both have connection points with these guys, which makes it really good. We know the type of men that they are that are coming into our building, and we're really confident they're going to enhance our entire team and our locker room. I'm proud of the preparation that went into this, our process, as well as our communication between Ben and I, our staffs, and then most importantly, our salary cap folks who took, they had some heavy lifting in this one too. So, part of our process that a lot of people don't know, we spend probably bi-weekly, we'll get together to talk about our finances and where we can spend and kind of how much flexibility we have. And that was really started by Kevin. And with that openness, it allows us to jump on these opportunities to enhance our football team. And I don't take that lightly at all. So that communication and that collaboration has been huge. I'll open it up to questions.
How about you let your head coach make a comment, Ryan?
Ryan, how much did urgency to get things going quickly play into giving big contracts to veteran players?
Microphone.
Can you explain that?
Like Ttnl and Jackson, the salary cap hits that you guys will take for this year. I mean, how much of that was driven by just trying to get things right as quickly as possible on the offensive line and maximize the opportunity you have with Caleb's rookie contract window?
Yeah, I think that really the focus was how can we enhance our football team? Like I mentioned with the salary cap and the finance part of it, we have the flexibility to do that. And a lot of that has to do with how well Matt Feinstein has kind of structured everything to allow us to do really jump on opportunities where, we had trade options where, again, they're two guys that we're really familiar with that we know can help us not only from a leadership perspective, but also on the field. So when that popped open, we were able to jump on it. And obviously that wasn't part of, the plan back when we were getting ready for free agency. So I've always learned just over the last few years, you got to be on your toes for those things that pop up. So when you match kind of the flexibility and doing good stuff with our salary cap, with opportunities, we were able to jump on it.
Hey, Ben. Patrick Finley from the Chicago Sun-Times. Is there a personality trait or a common theme to the offensive linemen that you guys wanted and wound up landing?
Yeah, we want some tough, some gritty, some dirty individuals, and we feel pretty good about the two guys we got. Smart is a word that comes to mind, particularly with the interior players. We need guys that we love to have some versatility to our scheme, some multiplicity, if you will. And so we got a couple guys in the building now that we feel strongly can handle a variety of different concepts and schemes that we might want to employ each and every week. Beyond that, I mean, their play speaks for themselves just in terms of what the tape says. The character, the integrity, it's top notch. I can speak firsthand with Jonah, and Ryan can speak firsthand with Joe. I'm really, really excited to get these guys in the room, combined with the coaches that we've already put together for that room. I feel really good about the style of play we'll have this year.
Joe at left and Jonah at right?
Yes, that is. Yep.
Ryan, with Joe, how do you frame the value of his arrival, both from adding
So he announced right there, Jonah right guard,
and what he can
Ttnl
offer
left
behind
guard.
the scenes as well?
Yeah, Joe's seen a lot, both from his time in New England. I still remember it feels like yesterday where we were signing him into Kansas City when we were trying to get our offensive line right so we can make a push and win championships. And that's exactly what he brought. So he's seen a lot of different things, played with a lot of different players. So there's a level of maturity and leadership that is definitely going to enhance not only just the offensive line room, but our entire roster.
And then with Jonah, for both of you guys, what did your homework turn up in terms of what his 2024 was like in Los Angeles and sorting through that?
Yeah, just there was a position change. He started out playing center. That's out of, you can ask him about it, but that's out of position. So it just started up a little bit choppy. But when you go back and see when he was in Detroit, I go all the way back to Rutgers when I watched him. The guy is made of the right stuff, and he's capable of really helping us up front, anchoring, but also getting pushed in the run game.
Yeah. The guy's a Pro Bowl caliber guard, so that's what we're going to get out of him.
Ryan, can you speak to like just the process of going through specifically when you talk about signing Joe and Grady, just the homework that goes into it from the personnel department to kind of identify veterans that may become available from other teams for whatever the reason may be?
Yeah, you do research on the situation. You know, each team has their own situation. Some teams got to make, you know, moves to change it up on their roster and to kind of clear space. And you're aware of those. You're not sure how they're going to play out. There's a lot of different ways to manipulate and change things up to fit. But in this case, you know, it was unexpected. So obviously when I heard their names, we went to work immediately. And again, I know Joe just from our time in Kansas City, but with Grady, you know, I just being teammates with Matt Ryan, they've shared the locker room, and the words that, you know, how he described that man is special, and it won't take you long to understand that he's different.
Ryan, a couple of weeks ago at the Combine, Ben was really confident about being able to flip the interior of the offensive line in one off season. Mm-hmm. Can you walk us through the process of going the trade route, of evaluating what the guard market looked like and deciding that that was going to ultimately be the path that you guys took to, you know, fit to upgrade the left and right guard spot? Yeah, you just have to stay open-minded, because like what we don't talk about enough is just because free agency opens up and it looks a certain way, you don't know if there's a connection that player may want to go somewhere else. So it may not even come down to money. It may be the fit for the player. So there's no guarantees just because the board is lined up and you have money to make it happen. So you got to really cast a wide net and be opportunistic and see when opportunities pop up, you know, this is the best thing for us. You do anticipate things like that, but at the same time, it was just about acquiring the best players that we can. And Ben, speaking to the run game specifically, how important is it with, like, what are you looking for from your interior offensive linemen to be able to run as many schemes as you do and be as effective in the run? Like, what do Jonah and Joe possess that leads you to believe that will yield some?
Yeah, I mean, the intelligence factor is a major portion of it, because they got to be able to handle different fronts for all these variety of schemes that we would like to employ. End of the day, we'll push this thing as far as we feel the collective group can handle up front. And that's where the intelligence is so important to expand on that variety. If we get really good at particular type of blocks, that's what we're going to feature. So we're not going to try to do something that doesn't make sense. But we have two extremely well-rounded individuals here. Feel really good about Darnell, Braxton, the rest of the group that's in that room right now, and how that thing could look in terms of combinations, getting movement at the line of scrimmage, playing on the defense's line side of the ball. And that's particular for the run game. Up front, though, in the passing game, we have to be better from a pass protection standpoint. And we really prioritize guys that are going to win one-on-one battles with the 3 technique. And we feel like both these guys are capable of that.
Speaking of the 3 technique, what do you like about Grady? I'm sure you've played against him a number of times, and what can he add to the defense? And then a second question would be, how quickly can guys like Joe and Grady, who've been around the block a long time, impact the culture here? They've talked about the culture here for a long time.
That's why they paid him as much as they did.
Hasn't been great. I think you need
leadership,
good record to legitimately claim you've got a good culture. Can newcomers impact something like that pretty quickly?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I'd say about Grady is this is a guy for a number of years now that's played at a fantastically high level. Like, this guy is outstanding. You feel his presence. He's a guy you have to game plan for when you go against him. I know when I was in Detroit with Jonah, we talked like, this is a guy that you come out of the game and you're sore because you played against him. He's relentless. He's passionate about what he does. Just talking to him today gave me goosebumps, because this guy loves football and he's going to bring that element to the team. All 3 of these guys, they've been in the playoffs. They've won playoff games. Joe in particular has won Super Bowls. Yeah, that does rub off to the rest of the locker room, because we're gonna define what it's gonna look like in terms of our meeting process, our walkthrough process, our practice habits, what it looks like off the field, because that all translates to winning on the field. All 3 of these guys have done that at a high level.
Hey, Ryan, has this what you've been able to do so far opened up what you can do in the draft? Are you looking at it that way?
Yeah, this really opens the whole board for us. So we're going to be able
Like
to
he's
sit
gonna
back
say
and
anything
look
different.
and say what's the
Stupid question.
best thing to do for the
Oh, no,
Chicago
this
Bears.
locks us
and
into one
who's the best
position.
player that can impact. So
Thanks, Carm.
we got some tough decisions and a lot of film to watch between now and the draft.
Two more, Alex and Kevin. Ryan, can you take us through the process
more.
of bringing Grady Jarrett in? I imagine it was a bit of a whirlwind that happened really quickly. Can you just take us through the process of that deal coming together?
Yeah, just the way social media is, you see it pop up and you're like, oh my, like, let me check the tape. Let's go back to the tape, look at the grades that we have in the system, and again, make some phone calls just to get an understanding of who he is as a man. And all of those things check the box. And again, someone that can help move this team to where we need to go.
Last one, Kevin.
Ben, what was the process like with the offensive line specifically, working with Ryan? Obviously, position he knows well. What was that experience like, kind of merging what you look for, what he looks for out of linemen to land these two guys?
Yeah, it's a combination of my experience. Certainly, he's got a heavy background. So does Ian Cunningham. Dan Rochar, bringing him into the fold. Kyle DeVan. It's been an entire group think process. Everyone's had a voice and a say in what we want this thing to look like and how it could unfold. So I think the collaboration's been fantastic so far. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Is that it? We're getting no player? So they have not announced Dahlman and Adengbo yet, because I'm assuming that they are.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there's Dahlman right there. So I'll shut up now. The Chicago Wall.
Part of it.
There we go.
Cooney and
Were you surprised that you were traded, and what was that conversation like in coming to a place where you knew Ryan? Was that beneficial?
Yeah, I didn't really. It was kind of a little surprised, but my agent just kind of called me and said kind of what was happening, and I think just it's just such a great fit though, and just so excited to be here, and knowing Ryan from Kansas City, just and Coach Johnson, and
traveling,
just couldn't be more excited. I think it's just a special place here, and excited to kind of do what I can and contribute and get going.
Have I been cut off? All right. You played in two places with winning cultures. Did they share anything in common that you were going to try and help bring out here?
No.
Just kind of, being in those places just felt like, everyone was pulling in the same direction. Everyone, all that mattered was winning. And I can really feel that here, starting from ownership to management to coaches and just meeting everybody. And just, there's such an intent and such, purpose to win. And it makes me excited just even being here a couple of days, and just excited to be part of it. And want to contribute as much as I can, as fast as I can. And just ready to get going.
Dan Reeder from the Chicago Tribune. Joe, just piggybacking on that question and answer, what do you see as the value of your experience in those two programs that will allow you to become a compass for younger players as you get your feet on the ground here?
Yeah, fortunate to play for some really good coaches, really good quarterbacks, and really good offensive lines. And, I think just being a part of that and seeing how, the day-to-day goes, how certain people approached, meetings, how they approach practice, what they do in between meetings and practice, nutrition, I felt it was so fortunate to witness that and to be around it, and, try to copy, what guys were doing in the building, and, just kind of, they took it a day at a time, and trying to make small improvements each day and get better. And, that's kind of what I've been trying to do too.
What's it been like for you to reunite with Ben here in Chicago? And then how would you describe the last year in LA and what happened there for you?
It's awesome. I had a great relationship with Ben. He was with me when I was a young pup, my rookie year. And, what he brings to the table is awesome. And I couldn't be more excited, especially having a guy like this on the line, Drew, Darnell, and Braxton. But, last year it was a little hiccup along the road, things like that happen. And I feel like it definitely, sharpened me a little bit, brought everything into perspective, like this game, it can come and go whenever. But, I was able to build more of appreciation for it, hone in on my craft. And I'm excited for what's to come.
Courtney Cronin, ESPN. For both of you, very clear the priority is Caleb Williams, bringing both of you guys in via trade. How do you view what your responsibility is in helping with pass protection, helping with a young quarterback taking that next step, and the role that you're going to be playing here in Chicago?
You got it.
I'd say, you know, for any quarterback, you seen what happened last year. He had taken a lot of hits. You know, you got to build confidence in a young guy like that, and any quarterback, honestly. And you know, I feel like that's something we're able to bring to the table. And I've seen a lot of tape of him do great work protecting Pat, and you know, that's just part of our job.
Yeah, like he said, you know, you kind of just want to give the quarterback as much time as possible. You know, you never know what's going on back there. Really, just trying to play through the echo of the whistle, and you know, right back at him. He's got a ton of great film, and I'm excited just to be part of it all.
Jonah, you often hear offensive linemen talk about moving from one side to the other and, you know, playing with a different hand and the adjustment. How big of an adjustment do you think it's going to be? Is that a concern for you at all?
Not at all. Actually, my first start in the NFL was at right guard versus the Chicago Bears, so I think I'll be just fine.
Yeah, Jonah, this guy next to me said you're
Detroit
Pro Bowl
lost that
caliber
game on a
guard
drop
when
from
you're at that
DeAndre Swift.
position. Obviously,
in the end zone, by the way.
What, can you go into a little bit more
Well,
specific?
that just
about,
kills the
you know, playing
narrative
in
that he
Detroit
can't
in that
switch to
system,
right
why
guard.
it fit,
Yeah.
It's
why
impossible.
it brought the best out of you.
I would say, especially like I feel like my best years were with Ben. He calls the game to our strengths, you know, and things we're good at, and it's not just for one guy specifically. And you know, I felt like I was able to strive in that system, and you know, I'm excited to get back into it. You know, get back to what I was able to do, and you know, keep it rolling.
Joe, Kevin Fishbane from The Athletic. In your brief time talking with Ben, getting to know Ben a little bit, what do you like about what he's asking for out of offensive linemen and kind of his scheme and how you can fit?
Yeah, I mean, kind of just watching, you know, Detroit's offense over the years. It's, you know, every week it's like 30, 40 points with really great creative plays. And, you know, it's kind of just an offense you want to be a part of. And he has such a clear, communicative way of describing, you know, what he wants. And you can just tell the passion and the love for the game. And, you know, it's infectious. I think everyone around him feels it. And, you know, just it's a coach you want to play for.
Question for Joe, straight back. Jason Leisure with Chicago sometimes, back center.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're drafted to New England and you signed with Kansas City, those were both places where they already had it rolling before you arrived. What appeals to you about getting in on the ground floor of something like this?
Yeah, I think the coaching staff is tremendous. You know, Ryan's been awesome, you know, making moves and, you know, adding Jonah and just the offensive line as a whole. And, you know, it's a process that I'm excited to start, though. You know, starts in OTAs, I think, and just, you know, building that chemistry, building the camaraderie, and, you know, excited to be meet all the guys and just, you know, get after it.
Chris, last one. Joe, as an extension of that, how do you impact a winning culture, a championship culture? What did you learn along the way with your two stops here to doing that?
Yeah, you know, just seeing how guys approach the day, how guys approach practice, you know, the intensity that they have in meetings and the attention they pay to details. And, you know, it's really a day-to-day thing. You know, it's trying not to look too far ahead, just try and, you know, maximize each day, trying to make the most of it, and, you know, put your head down and try and make improvements. And after a while, you know, look up and see where you're at. But, you know, it's really just a day-to-day, the small things, the details.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Grady Jarrett next. So what I was saying about Dahlman and Adengbo, they have to pass their physicals and sign the deals before they can be announced by the team, or obviously have their presser. So
Hopefully no fucking fractured foot.
yeah, I'm assuming they are traveling or whatever, but here's Grady Jarrett.
What's up, everybody?
Hopefully he calls Jordan Love a little bitch like he did in that video that I was watching.
Grady, how are you?
I'm great.
Dan Reeder from the Tribune. Monday had to be a little bit of a whirlwind for you. Can you kind of describe the emotions of that, and also just starting new at 31, 32 years old here in Chicago?
Yeah, man, it definitely was a whirlwind, and but you know what? It come with the game. You know, as long as if you play as long as I have, you know, and you want to keep playing, I mean, that time, you know, is inevitable almost. But you know, my best days are still ahead of me, and you know, I just kind of took it how it come, and you know, through faith, you know, just trusting that something will come along. I think the perfect match came along when I had the opportunity to join this team, being a part of something that is going to start here special, me being somebody who wants to be in a position to compete for championships, encourage the younger guys around me, and just really share my experience and my hunger for greatness to others who want to achieve it. I'm in a
That's called
special
being a
place, in
leader,
special time,
everybody.
in a special moment where
Imagine
I'm
that.
supposed to be. And I'm just really trusting the process, man. And that's how I got here.
100%, Keith.
Recount
You're
those
right.
few hours of
Him and
really
Toonie both.
leaving a place that you've been your entire career, and then obviously didn't have to wait long to find a new home.
Yeah. You said recount the time, like what? Oh yeah, I mean it wasn't. Yeah, so I mean that time was like it's like your head is spinning. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to battle a lot of emotions, things like that. And but you also don't want to make emotional decisions and emotional reactions because you can feel a lot of things when you don't expect something to happen. Which we don't got to talk about too much. But you got to have I trust in my work, my faith, my resume, the things that's carried me through my career. Hard work, dedication, respecting the game, playing it the right way, and it came true, when I got the opportunity to come here, and a lot of times I never have been a free agent before, but a lot of times people think, you become a free agent, the whole world gonna come after you and just line up, everybody want to get free agent, but sometimes it ain't the case. But all it takes is one team to really love you, love what you're about, follow, and I was fortunate enough to fall in a situation, and the love was mutual, and being able to
money, by the way,
just start here,
honest,
have
they
a fresh
paid him.
start is something I'm super excited about. Being one place for 10 years is definitely something special. Atlanta was my hometown, is my hometown, with or without the Falcons. Atlanta will always have a special place in my heart, and I'll have a special place in the people there that supported me. But in this new chapter of my life, I'm so happy to be here in a great city like Chicago, an organization who has a history of just being
Excited about this dude,
dominant defense,
Yeah, he's
legendary players, Hall of Famers. I'm watching from afar. Be able to walk in the building that's associated with Walter Payton. I've been a two-time Walter
Scottish Bear
Payton,
hit it right on the
Walter
head,
Payton
dude.
Man of the Year
That's
award nominee of
Mason
Medicine Family a
Graham
couple
calls you
times.
lap, you let
So the
him work
pride
with
that I
Brady for a
have
year
in this
too.
place, I didn't even know it really lived into me until I walked into the building. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just so fired up. Sorry, y'all.
That's a perfect way to put it, dude. He was ready to go.
Grady, Patrick Finley with the Chicago Sun-Times right here. I know there's nothing official yet, but the times that you matched up against Drew Dahlman in practice, what were those matchups like?
I mean, Drew is tough. Drew's smart, Stanford guy. He's big, strong, quick. I think something that makes Drew so difficult when you're a defensive lineman going against him, I think that his hat speed with the way he can reach nose tackles, even reach three techniques, be able to eject the three technique out when the guard make a base block, the power and knowing how to climb up. And I mean, working against him in Atlanta, he was so smart. He had some great guys working with him as well. But to see his growth as a rookie to where he come now, I mean, dude's a beast, man. I'm happy that he's going to be here, and I think he's going to bring a lot to this team.
Hell yeah, dude.
Cronin, ESPN. How
This is
much
gold.
of the Bears' investment in having two edge rushers here was, factored into your
Let this
decision?
dude roll for 10 more minutes.
Oh man,
at
big
least.
time.
Right.
No Montez Sweat,
Last
Atlanta
one.
guy. Haven't got to spend much time with them, but through mutual respect and mutual people that we know, definitely know about him. And when the Bears brought him here, that said a lot about how they feel about him too. So guy been dominant. So I'm fortunate to be able to play with him, and also the other signings that we made. I mean, I think it's just the effort that's being put into the front. I mean, coach believe in it. You're gonna win the game in the trenches, offensive, defensive line, and then for going through training camp, going through practice, I don't have better guys to sharpen my sword against. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna come every day and give you the all. I played against these guys, man, and it's been battles. So and I know what Drew about, and then we be able to practice against each other, iron sharpen iron, and it's gonna be. I think training camp gonna be fun. It's gonna be physical. Me and Ben talked earlier. He asked about mine a little trash talk. I go right back at it with him. So it's gonna be competitive, man. So it's some new energy, new vibes in the building. We want it all.
The edge guys always get the glory, but 36.5 career sacks is no slouch. How have you been able to be so disruptive from the interior for the last 10 years?
I think just being relentless in the pass rush on 36 sacks. I am the franchise leader in quarterback hits as well. And I'm, sometimes guys, throw that in there. Sometimes you get seasons, sometimes where guys may have like 8 hits, but they might have
6 sacks. You're like, dang, but you might have a guy who have 20, 25 hits and have 3 or 4 sacks, you know? So, but affecting the quarterback is the bottom line. Getting them off the spot, getting them uncomfortable. So to be able to be in a position from an interior standpoint, it means a lot, you know, especially when you're going to have dominant guys from the outside coming in every direction and whatever else Coach Allen draw up, you know. So being able to be a piece to add to this already group that's here, I mean, it means a lot.
Grady, Matt Zahn, CBS Chicago over here. You said your best days, you feel like your best days are still ahead of you. Obviously, you've had some pretty good days in your career. So at age 31, what gives you the confidence that you still have your best days in front of you?
Because if I didn't have that confidence, I wouldn't be sitting here. You know, if I got comfortable after my first contract extension, I wouldn't be sitting here. If I got comfortable after my second contract extension, I wouldn't be sitting here. And at the end of the day, this new contract that I got with a new team is just motivating me, you know, and I'm gonna be like that till, you know, the day I can't do this no more. But until that, I'm gonna always strive to be better. I'm gonna always strive to learn. And you know, you never really figure it all out. The day you think you figure it all out is you're gonna go down. And so that's what I'm excited about. And that's what I'm confident in. My body is good. My body is strong. And my mind is, you know, hungry to learn. I'm just in a position to where I'm in a special place at the right time around the right people. And I'm super excited for what's to come.
You still feel like a young guy?
I mean, we about to start OTAs. We're gonna line it up. We're gonna see that strength, that speed, all that. So I mean, you don't know me, obviously, yet, but you'll see, you get to learn, and I'm confident in my abilities to be highly productive and have my best seasons still ahead of me.
Ready? I'm over here to your left. Herb Howard with the Bigs, man. You talked about trash talking with Coach. I saw a mic'd up clip with you. I was playing the Packers, and you passionately told Jordan Love to pipe down.
Go ahead, finish it. What else I said?
I can't. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, bro. Was that just a regular football interaction, or was that something just a little bit more?
Man, you know, when you playing ball, man, you know, doing this, you know, being professional and being able to talk and communicate with people is something. But when you playing ball, you cross some lines, you got to be able to go in that dark place, you know. And sometimes what happened in that dark place, you know, it get a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you're just being a competitor. And
Fuck yes.
like I talked about mic'd up with some of the new media team here, and I was like, yeah, I know I got some crazy ones. And that was released. So the stuff that's not released got to be super crazy. But you got to have that dog in you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Jordan Love is a good quarterback. But you know, my thing is, so if you already can't hit the quarterback so many different ways. See, first of all, I chased him down the field over 50 yards. I went and caught him. So I got that speed on me too. And that was 2 years ago, so I'm only getting faster. So then to walk away from me talking mess, I mean, what we doing? We you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to get to go against him 2 times a year now, and you know, just try to you know, help this organization get some wins over that other team.
Hey Grady,
that other team.
Alex Shapiro, Chicago Sports Network, right here, right in the middle. Here you go.
Gotcha.
Hey there. Over the large portion of your career, you've been an extremely durable player. I'm just curious, what has been the key for you to stay on the field consistently throughout your career?
I think the work that you put in the off season, the conditioning, the training, the things that people don't see, things that you do when people aren't watching, the time that you spend away from the facility is very critical, and everything counts. You know, sometimes in life you think you can separate things and, you know, maybe I do this here, but you know, how you do anything is how you do everything. And that's what's been able to keep me healthy. And then the year I did get hurt in 23 it was a reset for me, knowing that I did everything I did to be ready and to be able to, you know, go through an ACL injury was a new challenge for me. And also gave me the perspective that, because even up to that point, I only missed 2-3 games in my whole career, you know. So I'm thinking like, you know, I've got this figured out, you know, to have my body right, do this and that. For that to happen, and happen on like a not even a hard play, that just gave me the reminder, just don't take this for granted, you know. And the journey that I had to take to go from a week 8 injury, a knee injury, and be able to be ready for training camp the following year. Not play with it, you know, to give my all every single day.
Billings is 97.
It took me to another level of 91? Preparation, hunger, appreciation. Because when you're removed from something that's so important to you,
you have whatever number he wants.
Can't do the things you're used to doing. Even at the beginning of post-surgery rehab, not being able to, you know, go to the bathroom by yourself. Just small things, even like protecting your family, the things, you know what I'm saying? Like just being a little bit enabled as a man, it challenges you in a way that only if you was in that position you can learn from. And that's a position that things that I would never would have learned if I didn't go through that. So that was a reason, you know, so be able to come back, play a full season, be productive. And that was one of my goals. And I'm super proud of myself for that. But also being
You might
more
tell the guy
removed
to
from that
shut
injury,
pipe
I'm just gonna
down
get
if he
better.
says two more.
So
I'm good,
I'm
homie.
glad
I'm
for
good.
that moment, which was a hard moment, but I learned a lot.
Grady, what kind of leadership do you think you're going to bring to this defensive line? I mean, it's a relatively younger group, and you're kind of the elder statesman coming in.
I think just going to be myself, working every day, putting in work day in and day out, giving tips where they're willing to receive, and just hanging out with them. I think being around the guys is going to be special. I think the time we spend with each other on the off season is going to be critical, especially on the field, and just grinding, pushing each other to as hard as we can, and just being the best. And I think just we all looking for our next level. You know what I'm saying? And me being somebody who really don't rest on the things that I've done,
95,
trying to look
91,
forward and be
92
better.
are available
I
right
think
now.
that's something to where it shows the guys that we all in this together. You know, I'm not coming to you know, just come and try to demand it. You know, they may know of me, but they don't know me yet. You know, we got to take time to learn each other, spend time, and we got to grind together. You know, we got to bleed together. And that's what I'm excited about, being in a new place and being to have a fresh start for myself, you know, as well. And because, you know, when you at a place for so long, when people come in, it could be it's like you know, people don't want to like overstep or like say stuff. When ain't none of that here, you know, it's like we all in it together. You know, we all in it together, and that's one thing I definitely want my teammates to know. But I'm gonna work every day, you know, and I'm never gonna ask anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. But I'm just super excited to be a part of the locker room, and that's really it. Yep.
I'm about to give Grady Jarrett a big ass X on his jersey or some like Superman shit. Like that shit was amazing.
Yeah, man. No, if you don't get fired up watching and listening to that dude talk right there, this is exactly what we've talked about for a long, long time. You need, and when I say characters, I'm not saying guys, you know, with bad character. I'm just saying guys like Grady Jarrett right there. It's back and forth with Jordan Love. That's fun. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
The Bears need more guys like that with personality that, you know, are characters. I mean, come on, man. This is
well, he talked about going to a dark place. I'm like, yeah, that's what you have to do sometimes when you're playing football. That's what the game it's a part of the game. You know, he talked about also, you know, playing the game right, you know, respecting the game and doing all that. And to be honest with you, I know you were talking about, like how quickly we were talking about how quickly the interviews are going. Grady made the interview continue. Like Grady was the one moving the whole thing. That's like, to me, that's awesome to see, because you got a guy that can communicate. You know he's going to be talking. You know he's going to be barking, and you know he's going to be on guys' ass if they're not doing what they need to do. He's at a point in his career. He said it. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to win a championship. He wants to be a part of something special, and he's willing to go ahead and give his expertise, his knowledge of the game, and his personal time, you know, on top of, you know, being a ball player to help groom some of these younger defensive linemen. And dude, I'm telling you, I loved hearing everything he had to fucking say. I will buy a jersey. Like there will be a Grady Jarrett jersey bought, and you know, from me. Like that's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, for everybody in the chat, if you are not a TTNL patron, go sign up at thetapeneverlies.com, and as soon as the number is official, we are going to be giving away a Grady Jarrett jersey to a TTNL patron. So go sign up, and you will have an opportunity, whatever number he picks. As soon as that becomes official, we'll get it out there, and maybe we'll throw in a TTNL t-shirt made by somebody on the panel right now, just not me.
Yeah.
You know who that is,
yeah, I could definitely get that going. I'm waiting for my ink right now. They fucked me over. Like it's been a whole ordeal, but as soon as I get the ink, I'm in. So.
Yeah. No, man, it's fun. It's going to be, you know, are we going to have, hopefully they have another presser when Dahlman and Adengbo become official, because I'd like to hear from both of those. But I already got the Soldier Field PA system on whenever Deo Adengbo makes a big play or a sack. They need to play this right here.
That'd be perfect, dude.
See, they got to think ahead. Got to hire
That'd be perfect.
TTNL to do that stuff.
Tell
Play
you.
that over the PA. Make that a thing at Soldier Field. Get
Calling
them going.
people's moms cunts. Yes.
Well, yeah, might not want to do that on the PA. That could be in the post game pressers on BHL. Oh no, man! We wanted to stop in. Listen to these pressers. They're usually not fun, but Grady Jarrett made this one up, man. I'm probably more excited overall about Joe Thuney because of what he brings, but I'll tell you what, Grady Jarrett made up a lot of space with that presser today, getting the old juices flowing, and it's pretty awesome when you want to put the uniform on, put a helmet on, and get out there and smack somebody, and we're not even in April yet.
Oh yeah.
So he's doing that to us that are very, very far from our playing days. Can you imagine what he's going to be like when you're lined up across from this dude? He's going to make Dahlman better. Obviously, he's going to make Thuney even better. All these guys, man, I love it. And guess what? Remember Ben Johnson said, "Get ready to be comfortable being uncomfortable."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jervon Dexter, get ready, bud.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have somebody talking
great
because
if Grady Jarrett's gonna let you take a play off. No, he's not.
There's these guys, man. There's these guys that are that they're professional ball, like they hold a standard no matter what. They might not have had, obviously Joe Thuney has the accolades, but Grady Jarrett, like, he don't have the Super Bowls, but he's been held in high regard with people amongst among the league, and now you could see it. Now we see it firsthand why people like Grady Jarrett, why they really liked him in Atlanta. They didn't want to get rid of any of those, Dahlman or Jarrett. It was just what the business of the NFL. But yeah, man, like, this guy is going to get on your. He's going to get on Dexter, on Pickens. Pickens is a guy I think that needs a boot, because this is it for him.
Let's be honest, Ivan. Depending on how this draft unfolds, Pickens,
he might be gone.
He could be in trouble.
Yeah, he could be cut. I could see him being a cut.
And with another thing we got to keep in mind too is the way that Dennis Allen likes size from his defensive ends.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We may see Jervon Dexter outside a lot more than we're expecting, especially if a guy like Mason Graham falls to you.
Yeah.
I would keep that in mind, because Deo Adengbo, like we were just talking about, every time I say that name, I'm playing that. I'm just telling you right now. We're getting it started. Don't forget, TTNL came up with that. Nobody else did.
TTNL.
But, you talk about Jervon Dexter, Deo Adengbo, and Montez Sweat. Those are some, you're talking 6'6" plus on all those guys. Yeah. Hovering right around that 300-pound mark. They're going to have some interesting defensive lineups at times with a guy like Dennis Allen, who's an aggressive DC, man. I'm looking forward to it. Then you have your little 6', 290 Grady Jarrett that's going to be the junkyard dog that's not taking shit from anybody, man. I love the compliment that he's going to bring to the rest of these guys.
Yeah, it's the rotation now. Like, now that we kind of see how this is playing out, I would just think anybody that's added to this rotation is just a plus at this point, because you need to. Well, first, obviously, there needs to be, like Grady was saying, that you need to be able to gel. You need to be able to grow together. So there's going to be a little bit of that period, right? OTAs, training camp, all that. Maybe even into the season a little bit. I would imagine you're still getting to know one another. But I just feel more confident knowing that you have a guy like Grady, you have a guy like Joe Thuney, and Jonah Jackson, for that matter, that have been through had different experiences in the NFL.
Yep.
But to me, seem like they're all in a place to lead the guys on this team. Even Jonah, for that matter, like he might not be that, he's going to be the captain, but the guys, he has experience in the offense.
Be right back, Ivan. You got to take over for a sec.
Go ahead. He has experience in the offense. He's a young player still, trying to make a name for himself. But, on top of that, he could help with certain things, like certain guys, if they're not, grasping grasping the understanding of the offense or grasping the blocking scheme, he could probably be there to help them. So I'm very excited about how they went and sought out not only great players, but guys who are clearly wanting to lead and clearly are leaders, and will be leaders for this team. I really like how they went and got these guys. Grady Jarrett he shocked the hell out of me. I wasn't expecting that kind of interview, with how the Bears usually usher people in and out. But good for him. He gave you a lot. I forgot who had the comment. I think it was Ryan Cox. He said that you got more from Grady Jarrett than you did from Matt Eberflus. In one interview, you got more out of Grady Jarrett than you did from 3-4 years from Matt Eberflus. It's a refreshing feeling, but again, I'm gonna still put it out there. We need to see this on the field. We need to see how it plays out on the football field. I don't want to get too high, even though it's hard not to be pumped up after listening to a guy like Grady talk about football. Going through, being injured in 2023, going through that, having to overcome things, and then now being pumped up and motivated again at this point in his career to start something new in Chicago and be a leader. So I'm just excited to see what happens. I don't want to go predicting anything right now. I don't want to, get ahead, over our skis, but you got to like what you heard. You got to like what Grady Jarrett wants to bring to this team. It's all about what they could do out on the football field. I don't know if what Shane wanted to do, he ran off, but I'm just going to wrap things up because, I think we said pretty much everything we had to say. Make sure you guys check us out tonight. Keep it at 100 with DDP, myself, and Shane. We're going to be talking more of this. We're going to probably re-show the interviews. I'm sure we might show one or two of them, but we'll see. But anyways, guys, for Shane Marsaw, I'm Ivan Vargas. Be sure to check out Keep It at 100 tonight, 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern. We'll be there. Peace.